latest episode of Demon Slayer. That is season 4, episode 5, I believe that we saw.
Think so.
Yeah, it was another action-packed episode. It continues on with the whole unraveling or the whole attack on the village. You know, Gyoko's going ham. You have bits of him everywhere in the form of what do you call that style of fish? Is it carp?
It's like a koi.
Koi fish, yeah, the demon koi fish Gyoko running amok in the village. Um, you have the Hantangus, all four of them still causing Genja, Tanjiro,
Tanjiro.
and Nezuko all problems still. But
Yeah,
before I get into that, I just got to show love to, as her name, Mitsuri, to love Hashira. She
yeah.
has a very fluid, swift fighting style.
Did you like that joint?
It was dope.
Yeah, bro.
I
Yeah,
thought she was like roll back on skates going through like that village alley,
bro.
just like
Bro, like it was just nothing less of like flawless movement. Like she was like one of those things. Like if she was a Mortal Kombat character, it'd be like flawless victory.
for
Like I feel
sure.
like that's what would be like happening with all her shit, bro. Like she had like the like closing the sheath style like moments where like she was already done her movement and then all of a sudden just like what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So yeah, she was definitely making
yeah.
a
No,
lot of headway in that shit.
she was yeah, no, she was killing the game, man. I thought she was just
Yeah,
really smooth with it. Yo, her whip like sword was wild.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that it can get like, it can shorten, get erect, and go back into her was it the sheath?
yeah. The sheath. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The sheath of the sword, yeah, put it back in a protector that comes out and it's like a whip. And
yeah,
it was ridiculous. I enjoyed seeing it, man. And again, little details like that. If I could just nerd out a little bit on just like characters, having a little the nuance to a character's weapon like that, I think it just adds to the story. It adds to the character. It gives the character itself more dimension, because now I'm thinking like, man, why is her sword like that? It's cool, but why wouldn't a regular sword suffice? You know what I mean? Why does it have to whip like that? And I want to know. It makes me want to know more about her style of
yeah.
fighting, her breathing.
It's definitely one of those things that make you it make you wonder what's different about them that makes them have to use such a blade. Like whether it be like the like let's say for no like instance in Nosuke's like chip blades and stuff like that. He like essentially made saws because he's so rough around the edges.
Yeah,
Um, if it's like a red blade, depending on like the caliber of swordsmanship that you have, or just like small things like that, definitely adds like another level of texture to the show itself.
yeah,
I can tell you like straight out the gate, like it's because she's that strong. Like she has to use that type of weapon because like she's brutally strong, so it gives her like a little bit more feminine dynamic. At least that's what I took from what I read. I could be wrong. If you're in the comments and you know better than I, feel free to like fill us in. But that's what I took from is like, like because of her strength and how she moves as a demon slayer, it's more suited for her style and her ability.
right.
So, yeah, she was tough, bro. I was glad to see her in action. It's like not just a little bit of action too, and I feel like there's more coming because I don't think the other demon is done. So I feel like they're gonna have to battle that one like more so than anything now,
Hmm. Yeah. Um,
being that they don't know where it's hitting at.
talk about Gyoko or
Gyoko, yeah, because he can transfer between the jars and stuff, like how we saw Tokido try to like finish him off, and like he just kept shifting between the vase.
you know when I was playing when I back in my video game playing days, I was definitely like a Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia kind of guy. I like figuring out things,
Yeah,
solving things. That little riddle and mystery element where you got to like
yeah,
really use your mind as a user. I mean, as
yeah,
a player, you know what I mean. And yeah, that's what I was thinking about when you saw the missed Hashira trying to figure out like he can teleport. He got there quickly. So the vases are the key. But it's like, where's his main vase at? For all we know, that might not have even been revealed to us.
Right, right.
So yeah, so now that's just one of those elements, man, from the writing standpoint. Like it just has me hooked. You know, it's got me on a
Mhm.
hook. Yeah, because I wanna at least I wanna figure that out. I wanna see that through the end, you know? Um,
Facts. Yeah, man. I think when like, and you know what I also like that they've done well. You know how like most animes are explanatory, like when they're doing certain situations, but they
yeah.
call it out. Like I feel like that's a very dried up use of that type of knowledge. But like this is like you give like you're giving an introspection of like their thoughts, not what they're saying. Like they're thinking this in the moment, so it's like it's easier. It's like oh, like he's contemplating. So then when he saw it in like real time, like they're like whoop, 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 like and like you see the eye movements and you see them register like what's going on. Um,
And just like more often than not, like the demons are learning through trial and error on how to defeat. I mean, the demon slayers, the Hashiras,
right.
are learning through trial and error on how to defeat the other demons too. So they're not figured out in the first try. So you're thinking like,
Um,
oh damn, like I mean, let's stay on track to what we was talking about. The mist Hashira, man, when the koi fish came out, the needle fish, when Gyoko did that, and those needles came out, and then to protect the swordsmiths, who I don't know why didn't run away at this point.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I would want to see the
That's
Miss
plot armor
Hashira.
to me.
I'd want to see the Miss Hashira whoop some ass too, but like, I'd also be scared for
Yeah,
my life. I would have dipped out. But anyway,
'cause
Miss
he got
Hashira
hit
got in the
several
way
times
and took those
early.
needles.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to be different about him because if you notice that like as they've gone on, the Hashiras have gotten stronger and they have a bigger resistance towards things. Like I don't
Yeah,
think Rengoku probably could have handled poison the way Tengen did. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Plus like even though they went against like number 6
Yeah.
and Rengoku went against 3, Rengoku's fight against number 3 was nothing but brute strength, and he was like always a jab behind the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he was holding his own, but he was always a jab behind with Akaza. So I'm hoping that he can take the needles and like still do some damage, or like I said, Nezuko being able to do stuff with her blood now, her blood demon art. Hopefully she can like remove the poison from this motherfucker, and then that'll just make shit like even more heavyweight because I wonder if Muzan will find out from that because I feel like Muzan gets information from his dead demons.
Hmm.
That's just
Hmm.
an assumption though. Hey, I'm gonna pause this real quick. I need to blow my nose. I'll be right back. But yeah,
So yeah, I mean, if Muzan could detect, or just learn how they died and learn more about the demon slayers through the deaths of those demons, that would be something that'd be interesting. I mean, given what all blood art can do, what demons can do with blood art, I mean, I wouldn't have put that past. Like, what's off? I mean, what's off the table? You know what I'm saying?
right. And like especially for like Muzan being like the first or the original.
Yeah, this man transforming into smooth criminal Michael Jackson to a little boy to a little to a young woman. Like, yeah, I mean, what can't he do? I think is a more interesting question at this point.
Right.
I like that
Right.
theory. I like that theory. So yeah, I mean, yo, and also it appears Miss Hashira has a little bit of history with Gyoko. When Gyoko was like, "Man, why'd you save some worthless swordsmiths or worthless civilians?" He was like, "Oh snap, worthless. That's how the demon that came through and jacked up my fam said something about me being worthless and the fam worthless." So
Yeah, I think it was like the tone of his voice too sound familiar.
yeah, so and I
Yeah.
think I think a lot of the demons, the upright demons, have some type of history to the a lot of the Hashiras, anyways. I've kind of gathered that talking to you offline, off the record about some things that will unfold, and
Mhm.
I know Inosuke's got an interesting story too.
Yeah.
So I feel like yeah, some reveals are going to be really wild, and
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be tough. I ain't gonna lie, they're gonna be tough. It's like it's hard to keep the secret, but it's like when certain things just start to like rise, like I feel like we're about to start going like I feel like we probably got like one more episode of the Swordsmith Village, and I feel like we're gonna go into like the Hashira training arc to finish that out for the season because a lot of shit goes on in that too. And I feel like that's where they're gonna all link back up. But like a lot of shit's gonna start to hit the fan because the way that they were like laying it out, I was like, yo, we really probably got like 40 some episodes left, minus the 13 that's coming now. Well, not even counting the 13 that's coming now, as far as I know. But like, who knows like how that's gonna play out? Because I think there's like one or two more arcs with in between the Hashira training arc and then the last arc itself. So we might get like two more solid seasons
Okay.
um, of shit, which is like a lot of content. Like just saying, like it's a lot of content for and a lot of story to be told. So I'm pretty stoked for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, I'm one thing I wanted to ask you is what's up with Gyoko and like why fish?
I don't know.
Like, was he a fisherman before he became a demon or something?
That I'm not sure of. I just knew that he was going to do a lot of weird shit, and I don't think it's over. Even thinking about it now, like think about the fact that like remember he pulled out all those mangled bodies into like one like torn up corpse that like had like it
Bro,
riddled with swords.
he's truly evil. Talking about some, I want to show you my artwork.
Yeah, like it's just like some. I think he's like so devious that like the way that he looks at shit is like beyond the scope of a pattern. So like I don't think like it's the fish that have like a particular pattern to like his backstory or anything. I just think it's like, oh, it's like I'm in this village. They're fish. They could be my like familiars.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he uses what he can or what he wants at the moment.
yeah,
And right now it's the fish. I think like maybe there's gonna be like it's like how like speaking to back what we were talking about earlier. It's like when you're playing video games, like say you're like playing the boss, right? What
yeah,
happens like sometimes halfway through the boss fight they like adjust or they change or something shifts and they start using like a whole different move set to like make it like harder for them to like be killed.
yeah,
I feel like he's gonna hit that type of shit, like on some like real nerdy shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's just like the most annoying thing in the world because like once you think you got them figured out, you don't.
yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah. I mean, I'm into it, man. I like what's going on, man, and yeah, I'm glad you brought up the bodies that Gyoko showed. It was this weird. For those that haven't seen this episode or want to know what we're talking about, man, there's Demon Gyoko had this.
a vase that kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah, but what came out the vase was like a sculpture, which was like the fusion of like three or four
it's more than
swordsmiths
that. Yeah,
that
it
was
was,
still
it was like
alive.
8 or 10. Yeah.
They were like butchered and adhered together, and
Hmm.
out of one swordsmith's corpse was like another arm
Yeah.
and like half chest and neck and head of another
Yeah.
swordsmith, and it really emphasized like this show truly is like these are real demons, man, and
Right.
I'm also interested by the Eastern's take on demons, man, because this right here it's different. I think our Western portrayal of demons are kind of like tied to religion, spirits, take on the form of like somebody of a regular human except dead. But
Hmm.
like, nah, these demons that are portrayed in Japanese lore and particularly in this show, they're truly Hell's Paradise too. They're just
Yeah.
twisted.
I forgot. I want to say it's uh, it's a class of demon, like in certain like things, like because like you have like different types of demons, like low key.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me see real quick. Okay, so here's a question though. Speaking about that episode, what stood out the most for you in that episode of Demon Slayer? Like, what do you think was one of the like biggest takeaways? Like, looking forward is like I want to inspect this a little bit more.
Um, Before I get into that, this episode we saw a demon-like version of Genja also.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's interesting. The younger brother of the Wind Hashira.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Speaking on that, not to cut you off, if I hadn't like told you, how would you have felt when you saw him? Like if you didn't know that was coming, how would you have felt?
uh,
Would you have been like, would you have think he got turned?
I wouldn't think that he got turned, but I probably would have like I've indulged in enough anime now and haven't been very attentive to what his deal is because he's kind of had a stick up his ass since like Tanjiro ran into him in the village and whatnot. It's like, granted, you never developed a breathing technique,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna be in the swordsmith village with just no powers and totally useless.
I mean,
You
he
know what I
really
mean?
doesn't.
In
Yeah.
my opinion, so that this is my theory. I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
you're asking if yeah, and told me, I was of the mindset. Well, I don't know where Genja's been this whole time. I don't know if he has any powers or not. But if you took one little piggy, those blindfolded piggyback rides, and you made it to the village, you have something to contribute to the cause.
Right.
So I would get the, and I also I'd be at the mindset that like maybe his power is to temporarily be demon or use demon blood. So that's the conclusion I would have drawn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just
Word. That's what's up.
yeah,
Yeah. When I read, I read like him changing, and like when I saw that shit, I was like, oh shit. And I
yeah,
was just thinking about like the multitudes of like how he could become OP because he doesn't get it for a long time. Like he has like a small bracketed period. Because I feel like, spoiler alerts, when you see him and he turns and you like you see he's got the yellow tipped hair and stuff like that, and it's a little bit starker and a little bit longer. And it's like he's clearly changed a bit. I feel like it's going to be wearing off as soon as he sees him.
yeah.
Because I think Tanjiro is going to be shook, and I think he's gotten to the point where he can sense deadly intent.
Okay,
Um, there's something that there's an ability that's going to be starting to be spoke on, and I think that's going to be shown in the Hashira arc.
yeah,
Once we get to that part, then I'll be able to like express a couple more things to you, but I don't want to like spoil you, and then like you not be able to see how it evolves or moves through. Um, yeah, when I first read it, I was like, oh shit, like just imagining like dependent on the demons themselves, like what they can do and stuff like that. Um, imagine if he like ate some of the blood of the or ate some of the flesh of the wing demon, then he gets wings and stuff, and then he can like really like throw down or like if he gets the one with the fan, so then he has like that type of like thunderclap, like uh like fans type, power. And I just think about that with like upper ranks, like bro, like that could even the playing field big time. Like, so yeah, he doesn't have like traditional Hashira powers per se, but he's definitely like doing something on scope. That was one of my biggest takeaways, is just knowing that like Genya start Genya is the beginning of like showing you that like unconventional and non-traditional ways of fighting is going to be starting to like leak its way through like through the series. Sorry, I didn't mean to like cut you off or nothing like that, but
no, you good, man. And honestly, like you saying that was kind of where I was gonna take, was gonna sort of be similar to my response to your question.
mm-hmm,
I think uh unconventional ways of fighting, teamwork, and just seeing the missed Hashira, the love Hashira, Tanjiro there. Like, I think this is all kind of alley oop in its way to the Hashira training arc. And so I'm
mm-hmm,
trying to keep my eye on how just everybody sort of comes together and evolve. And I can't wait to see my boy Inosuke and everybody else leveled up too, you know?
facts.
And what's the other dude? Zenitsu?
Yeah, Zenetsu.
Zenetsu? Yeah. So I'm interested in seeing them again. So yeah, those are things I'm looking forward to. That's what you're asking. And the other thing I'm keeping my eye on, Uh, I think just Tanjiro's growth and ability to kind of assess the weaknesses of the upper ring demons,
Yeah,
and his resolve. We didn't even get to see Nezuko using her power to make that sword bright red. You know,
facts.
so the fact that she seems to be intuitively unraveling and discovering her powers every couple of episodes or so. So it's cool to see her level up, and also I'm keeping my eye on that because I'm also asking myself, damn, what can't she do?
Facts. That's where I'm like really going down into it, like wondering like how like she's gonna fit into like the mode when it comes down to like really jabbing or boxing with these demons
Yeah.
later down the line, because I feel like she gonna like start being on some powerhouse type shit. Like I feel like she's gonna give or make Muzan frustrated because he's gonna figure out that he doesn't have control of her. That's what I think.
Oh, over Nezuko?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be frustrated by that shit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, man. But yeah, what are you keeping your eye on at Demon Slayer?
Uh so like for real, I know Tanjiro's is the hero of the story, but like the other two have crazy arcs coming up. And he does as well, but like I want to see the strong I want to see the Stonehasher fight cuz he's going to be on like he's going to be like world class. Like he's like we've yet to see a Hashira like stand toe to toe with like the likes of like people like Kokoshiba and stuff like that. Like we just know that that's not happening. But like I think it's gonna be like coming to a head. Like I think the castle art is gonna be like some of the crazy shit. But like definitely like Zenetsu, bro. Like he not about to be asleep through the rest of these seasons. And I don't think a lot of people are ready for that. Like that's what I'm really hype about. I was like, they're not ready for that, dog. That turn up is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it is
So
gonna be crazy.
yeah, so I'm super hyped. And then like to watch them like start training like as Hashira, like it was dope watching them come in and train like in between. That's another thing that I think they've done consistently. Like you understand that like no matter what they've done, like they've had to consistently keep training. So I like the training parts. Like I'm a Rocky fan, so like training montages like that's like in my blood at this point. Like you know, being an athlete back in the day, it's like I used to live off training montages. That shit just gets me stoked. Like I listen to Demon Slayer and like fucking Hunter x Hunter at the gym and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said that to my brother. He was like, "Yo, who hurt you? I'm gonna use this." Like so. Yeah, dog. Like that's what I'm hyped for. Like the training and then Zenetsu's story. What about you? I guess like you know beyond like what we're excited for this episode or like I guess coming up like in all what are you like kind of like hyped to see unfold?
All the different Hashiras in action, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's what I really want to see. Like I know they're all OP in their own kind of way.
Yeah,
Um, the backstory is cool too. What drove them to be OP. It's always cool. But like, I really want
right.
to see. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I want to see the Stone Hashira number one.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah. He's like low key like a nigga to me, dog. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he remind me like what's that DMX song where it's like shit, I can't think of the name. I'm gonna figure it out, but like it just reminds me of like that joint where like, you know, DMX is crying, but like he's still like going hard as shit. It's like, yeah. Um
Was it slipping?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, yo, I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up.
yeah, exactly.
Give me back to my feet so I can catch it up.
Like this, he's like but yeah, so I'm definitely hyped to see that shit. That shit's gonna be crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
All right,
That's
man. Well, hey, it's been another dope episode, man. That concludes our Demon Slayer episode 5 recap. And yeah, I mean, no. Yeah, episode 5 recap.
Yeah, episode 5 is
Episode
getting
5.
kind of like hey guys, we're doing so many episodes trying to
We
get
are.
people
We
to
pumping them
sleep.
out.
Yeah, so bear with us.
All right. On that note, y'all, peace.
Peace.